Subscribe and download over 1 million code snippet including this tutorial from codegive.com, link in the description below. In Python, you may often find the need to convert a list of elements into a byte representation. This can be useful, for example, when working with binary data or when you want to store a list of values in a more compact form. In this tutorial, we will explore how to convert a Python list to bytes and provide code examples to illustrate the process. The bytes constructor in Python can be used to convert a list of integers into a bytes object. Each integer in the list should represent a byte value, ranging from 0 to 255. In this example, the list 65, 66, 67, 68 represents the ASCII values of A, B, C, D. The bytes constructor is then used to create a bytes object from the list. If your list contains elements other than integers, you can use the struct module to pack them into bytes. In this example, the list 1.23, 45.67, 89.01 contains floating point numbers. The struct.pack function is used to pack these values into bytes. The format string 3f specifies 3 floating point values in network byte order. If your list contains strings, you can encode them using a specific encoding, example UTF-8, to obtain the byte representation. In this example, the list hello world contains strings. The encode method is used to convert each string to bytes using the UTF-8 encoding. Converting a Python list to bytes can be achieved using various methods, depending on the types of elements in the list. Whether dealing with integers, floats, or strings, understanding the appropriate method for conversion is essential for effective data handling in Python. ChatGPT. Title: Python list to bytes conversion tutorial. Introduction. In Python, converting a list to bytes is a common operation, especially when dealing with binary data or serialization. This tutorial will guide you through the process of converting a Python list to bytes, providing clear explanations and code examples. Bytes in Python represent a sequence of bytes, where each byte is an 8-bit unit of data. Python 3 introduced the bytes type to handle binary data efficiently. A byte can have values from 0 to 255. The bytes constructor in Python can be used to convert various data types, including a list, into bytes. The syntax is as follows. Let's go through an example where we have a list of integers and we want to convert it to bytes. In this example, the list contains ASCII values of characters A to E. The bytes constructor converts the list to a bytes object, and the result is printed. If your list contains non-ASCII values, outside the range 0 to 255, you might encounter a value error. To handle such cases, ensure that the list contains only valid byte values. This example demonstrates how to handle a value error when attempting to convert a list with non-ASCII values. Converting a Python list to bytes is a straightforward process using the bytes constructor. Keep in mind the range of valid byte values, 0 to 255, when working with ASCII or binary data. This tutorial provides a foundation for handling binary data in Python efficiently. Feel free to experiment with different lists and scenarios to deepen your understanding of converting lists to bytes in Python. ChatGPT. Tutorial: Converting Python list to bytes. In Python, you often encounter situations where you need to convert data from one format to another. Converting a list to bytes is a common task, especially when working with binary data or when you need to send data over a network. This tutorial will guide you through the process of converting a Python list to bytes with code examples. In Python, the bytes type represents a sequence of bytes. It is immutable, meaning that you cannot modify its content after creation. This makes it suitable for representing binary data. To convert a list to bytes, you'll use the bytes constructor. Let's consider a simple example where you have a list of integers, and you want to convert it to a bytes object. In this example, the bytes constructor takes the list of integers as an argument and returns a bytes object. Each integer in the list is treated as a byte, and the resulting bytes object represents the binary data. If your list contains elements other than integers, you may encounter a type error. In such cases, you need to convert those elements to integers first. In this example, the map int mixed_list converts each element in the list to an integer before creating the bytes object. If your list contains strings, you may need to encode them to bytes using a specific encoding. The encode method is used for this purpose. In this example, each string in the list is encoded using UTF-8 before creating the bytes object. Converting a Python list to bytes is a straightforward process using the bytes constructor. Remember to handle non-integer elements appropriately and consider encoding when dealing with strings. This tutorial provides you with a solid foundation to work with binary data in Python. ChatGPT